Welcome to the Red Dice Diaries, and in this RPG review I'm going to be looking at Jadetech Blue Jade by Reroll Productions. As I said before the introduction, I'm looking at Jadetech Blue Jade by Reroll Productions, written by Jacob Possin. And when it comes to genre, I suppose Jade Punk is a sort of Eastern steampunk fantasy sort of fusion. It's difficult to define. It's got elements of steampunk, although powered by mystical jade rather than more traditional technologies. It's also got elements of these, but it's all been folded together neatly into a consistent fantasy campaign setting. The book that I'm reviewing is a 17-page PDF, although there are plans to combine the Jadetech PDFs into a single book once that's been finished, and it's been confirmed by Ryan M. Danks of Reroll Productions on Google Plus that there will be a discount for those who have the individual PDFs. Now, I'm an unashamed fan of the Jade Punk setting, and in fact I'm currently running a game called Skyless City that you can check out on my YouTube channel by clicking on that thumbnail just over there. Jade Punk is a fate-based game that uses the roll of 4 fudge dice, or fate dice, depending on what you want to call them, to produce a number between -4 and +4. This is then added to a skill total to produce your final rolls total. You need to either beat a static difficulty or an opponent's roll to complete a task. And obviously there are additional wrinkles and complications to that, but that's the basic mechanic of it. Okay, so let's move on to the contents of Blue Jade. Now, I've reviewed the previous 2 installments in this series that deal with Green Jade and Red Jade, respectively. Jadetech Blue Jade follows a similar format to its sibling PDFs and begins with a short piece of fiction. The fiction is always enjoyable and seems to follow the format of the heroes encountering a problem and then solving it with an application of the jade colour in question. In this story, the group are experiencing problems with a clapped out old blue jade engine on a boat that is solved by one of them fashioning a blue jade pipe and summoning aquatic aid. I love these stories since they highlight the contrasting uses of jade. Particularly in this story, the manufactured industrial engine versus this more natural and ancient feeling method of summoning aquatic creatures using a jade pipe. The story is very enjoyable and it helps cement that jade really is a central feature of this setting. In effect, it's the magic and the technology all rolled into a shiny, multifaceted whole. We move on to an introduction that discusses the nature of blue jade and explains that it is the easiest to manufacture and refine. Blue jade emphasizes flexibility of both mind and body and is normally found in small natural deposits scattered around the coastal waters of the world, particularly the coastal islands of the Kayumi and the many lakes in Kahuat. There follows a brief history of blue jade, which was the second to have its refining techniques discovered after red jade. Blue jade has to be heated and then cooled in a bath of salt water, and it is vital for sea transport. Also, more recently, skilled medical practitioners have been able to unlock the secret of using blue jade infusions to promote long life and good health amongst those who can afford their services. The book goes on to tell us a little about how blue jade can naturally infuse into plants and animals, something that occurs quite commonly, according to the PDF, no doubt as a result of blue jade's adaptability. Included as an example of this are the frost walls of northern Tuyang, creatures with heightened senses and an insatiable hunger. The PDF then follows on with a discussion of the potential downsides of those who become blue jade addicts and moves on to provide a sample number of assets that are made from the jade. So, in conclusion, like its predecessors, Jadetech Blue Jade is a fairly small PDF. However, just over a couple of dollars, US dollars, and being about £1.37 in British pounds, it crams in an awful lot of information in its 17 pages, and in my opinion is excellent value for money, especially when you consider the proposed discount purchasers of the PDFs will get on the final compiled book. Blue Jade carries through the colour splat layout from previous books of the series, where sidebar information is contained in small splats of colour, in this case a deep blue colour for obvious reasons. This has the effect of splitting information up neatly and making the PDF very visually striking, without making the layout overly complex, fussy or difficult to follow. Actual other artwork throughout the PDF is fairly sparse, although what there is very nicely rendered, and any jade in it has this sort of glowing, obvious coloration to it to make it stand out more. And obviously they've kept the amount of artwork to a minimum so they can fit more words in the 17 pages, which is a good thing as far as I can see. And like I say, the artwork that is there is quite visually striking. Overall, this PDF is very good value for money and contains some excellent ideas for a budding Jade Punk games master. It's a very enjoyable read, and if you can't get something out of this for use in your Jade Punk game, then I'll be very surprised. I've already started to incorporate some of the stuff out of it into my own game. One of the things that strikes me about this series is that, as well as being very accessible to people, each book has really excited me to get started and really start using those things out of it in my game, and I'm already looking forward to the next installment. And this is a feeling I've not really had since I used to play Mind's Eye Theatre games back in the day, and we used to eagerly look forward to the next book coming out, see how long it would take for our GM to somehow crowbar the stuff out of it into a regular game. And that's a great feeling to have, and I'm glad these books have allowed me to revisit that. Overall, if you're running Jade Punk or you're planning to do so, I highly recommend the books in these series. They contain some great ideas. There's a load of stuff in there that you can add to all of your Jade Punk games. It's a very reasonable price, and you'll probably be getting a discount off the finished compiled book. You really can't go far wrong for a couple of dollars or just over £1 in the United Kingdom. You've really got nothing to lose. I highly advise you go out and grab yourselves a copy of it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. You'll consider clicking on like and subscribing by clicking on the red dice up in the corner. If you have any comments, then as always, put them in the comments box below or hit me up in the Google Plus links. I really do enjoy reading what you write. Until I see you in the next video, take care and thanks for watching. Happy gaming.